Hello everybody, this is John Felt, and this is the Merschman Seeds Ag Weather Briefing for August 18th, 2018. Over the last week, you can see there was a fairly soaking rain over the eastern Corn Belt once again, and that's sort of been the story this summer. Matter of fact, that's a good idea, sort of do a summary of the summer now that we're getting into the latter part of the summer. The central Corn Belt did receive some rain. It was scattered. Parts of Missouri did receive a really needed rain, but it wasn't all that widespread. It missed quite a bit of areas that have been dry. And I'll show you in a minute how bad the drought is in these areas. So, yes, it was a welcome rain, but it was not nearly enough either in coverage or quantity. And you can see in the last month here, this is the percent of normal. Red's only 1/4 of normal. So the Dakotas, northern Minnesota, pretty big parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri have been below normal precipitation. Eastern Corn Belt's the only area that has been closer to normal, if not above normal. That's that area in blue. So going through the core month, middle months of the summer, and remember, when I covered the early summer, spring and early summer, I always say I want that little bit of a surplus of rainfall because you need it as we get into this time of year when it's so dry. Now, I know some areas who have had good conditions are getting actually pretty close to harvesting, so you might not want that rain anymore. So it's a little bit tricky. Some areas still need some rain, and other areas would maybe prefer not at this point. Other areas, such as northern Missouri, it's too late because the crop is so bad. But you can see here that we've really had some problems with midsummer rainfall. Now the drought is in 4 categories. D4 is exceptional drought, and you can see eastern Kansas, northern Missouri really is hard hit with that area of drought. And that also goes along the Iowa border, southeast Iowa, and that's anywhere from D all the way, anyway, pretty big range there, gradient here from D1 all the way down to D3, and then scattered areas of dryness elsewhere. But really this has been the area far southeast, south central Iowa, all of northern Missouri, good parts of eastern Kansas, really hit hard by these dry conditions. And when I look at the last couple weeks on changes here, I see more yellow than green, and that's saying that conditions are not getting better, they're getting worse. So I think I talked about soils pretty good there. One of the things that can change things, of course, is if we get an inland moving tropical system. Not likely in the Midwest as much as elsewhere, the south central U.S., the West Gulf, or the southeast U.S., mid-Atlantic regions, and that can really change water resources. But right now I don't see anything, looks pretty quiet. So here are your temperatures over the last week. Most of the Corn Belt experienced above normal temperatures, either a little bit, which is yellow, or a lot, which is red. Okay, now this week we're going to have, this weekend actually, into early in this week, this area of low pressure moving up in the area, and that could bring some needed rainfall over parts of Iowa. From a soil moisture perspective, northern Missouri, although like I said, in many areas it's just too late. But elsewhere it looks like a quiet week. Just some scattered precipitation here and there elsewhere. Looks like that area in purple could receive an inch or two of rain as that low pushes through. And that's going to be the story early this week. Now we're going to have some changes here. We're going to have a transition. As you know, with the news and the wildfires, we had this ridge of high pressure sort of doming over the western U.S. And as we go through the next 14 days or 16 days, what we do is we take this little dip in the jet stream and replace it with an area of high pressure. So if you look at it here, I'll go through it again. Here's the dip in the jet stream. It's brought us some nice weather over parts of the Corn Belt. It's going to be replaced with high pressure. That dome of high pressure is going to slide back here. Progression's sort of been interesting. It went from the south over the summer, south central U.S. to the western U.S. and back here. And look at the shading here. That brown, we go from blue, a little bit of blue, to brown. And that means temperatures are going to gradually be warming up. And you can see that here as well. We start out here, then the first 5 days, pleasant temperatures. And then as we get into the latter part of the month, very end of the month of August into early September, temperatures are warming up again, especially the anomalies over the upper Midwest. You can see that here, 6 to 10 day, we have some lingering below normal temperatures, but it starts to build in this area. And then 8 to 14 days, week 2, we have above normal temperatures over the entire area. Precipitation, jet stream is going to be aligned with the jet stream. Wouldn't be surprised if we get some of that rain that's really needed because it's so dry in the far upper Midwest. Eastern Corn Belt's going to dry out, looks like in the 6 to 10 day. It's just a general chance of above normal further out. Here's week 2. Just wanted to show you the precipitation. Best chances are going to be along the jet stream. As far as temperatures above 90 degrees, we start to push back up there, especially in the areas of Teal. That could be about half the days above 90 degrees. So this weekend, needed rain in spots, but not everywhere and not enough in some areas. But at least in some of the hard-hit areas are going to get some rain. And I think the trend as we get into early September, temperatures are going to be averaging back up above normal. That's this week's briefing. Ever have any questions or comments? Something I'm not covering you want me to cover? If you want to pass along some of the conditions in your area, I'd always like to hear what's going on. John, John, @bluewateroutlook.com. Have a great week.